Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about how it works exactly with the $83.3 million, 65 million of which are in punitive damages, award for E Jean Carroll in the defamation case that ended last week. There was a big article in the New York Times saying she won't get it for a long time and making it seem like Trump still kind of, has at least one more route of escape. So that's true, but not really. I think that Friday really was a genuine hammer coming down because under New York law, it's true that he doesn't write a check to her right away. He's got legal rights to appeal. He will probably exercise them. His charming counsel, Alina Habba, said, we will win this case. We didn't win today, but we will win. But New York law in a civil case like this requires the defendant to post a bond. And you can think about this. It's pretty close. You can think about this kind of like posting bond to get out of jail, to not have to go in jail pending trial. A court orders, let's say, you have to post $83 million. So what happens if you have to post $83 million? For example, remember, this is the second E Jean Carroll trial, though the first actual defamation. Won't go through that again. But he lost $5 million award the first time. That has been put in an account, and it's with the court now in order for him to appeal. And so that's what needs to happen now. If he wants to appeal, he's got to pony up the amount of the damages that are, so it's not just used as a dilatory tactic. And there's I think a little bit of play in the joints. I've seen some different accounts that I think next to the 83.3 million don't add up to a lot. He basically has to come up with it, and he pays. So in that sense, Friday really important because Trump doesn't get away with it and has to pay unless he should win on appeal, which I think is pretty unlikely. As I've said, I don't think the jury was in any way runaway. The ratio of punitive to compensatory damages, about 3.5 to 1, very much in line with what they've done before. Kaplan, very respected judge, and to the extent he got tough with them, I think he, was thoughtful, covered his tracks, and the court and the Second Circuit will understand the difficult situation that a judge deals with when it's Donald Trump, and won't want to undercut him. But so what this means is, in order to file that appeal, he's got to come up with basically $83.3 million. Now, just as with a criminal case, you can buy $83.3 million for something less than $83.3 million. That's what these bail bondsmen all around the court do. They, you have to come up with $50,000 on bond, and they're there with very harsh terms, and they take a possessory interest in your home and stuff like that. But then they come up with the money because you might not have it liquidly. And guess what? It's not at all clear that what Trump has as a matter of liquidity. He inflates his net worth all the time, and much of his money is tied up in real estate. So it may be that in order to come up with this money, he's got to liquidate one or more of his prestige properties that are his, pride and joy. And that's just the temporary state of play as of today, because come Wednesday or so is when Justice Engoron has said he will, that's the trial judge in the fraud case involving the Attorney General, and they're going to come up with some amount he needs to pay and will have to post if he goes on appeal. That's, way more. She has the Attorney General, for some $370 million. It was initially $250. My best guess would be it's closer to the $250. But still, now we're talking some $300 million that he has to post. Now, so he could try to write a check if he has that much cash here and there floating around, or he can try to get a bond. But a bond means you go to a bank, probably in this case, and a bank is going to be pretty jaundiced about giving Donald Trump $300 million of its money. And they could have fairly harsh terms in terms of payback, in terms of collateral, in terms of, what he's got to give them a possessory interest in among his, 40 Wall Street or his country club, upstate, in order for them to be willing to give up this money. They certainly won't do it anymore because they, hope to have business with the future president. I think all of that is, it's a much harsher business environment now for Trump. So, New York Times is right that, E Jean Carroll doesn't see the money soon, and appeals normally take a good deal of time, easily a year. On the other hand, blood was drawn for Trump on Friday, and it really was, I think, a big blow for accountability because, as I've been suggesting, I think so much of his appeal with the MAGA crowd is A, breaking the rules, but B, getting away with it. And I don't think he got away with this time. I think we've already passed the point, unless he gets some real surprise on appeal where he could get away with it. Okay, just a quick note though about the other side now, E Jean Carroll. So unless there was any doubt, because she had, there were numbers banding around that were even bigger, who won and who lost. There are interviews with her over the weekend where she is calm, she's elated, she's full of gratitude. It's clear that she sees this as a really significant victory, and she's very gracious. She sees this as a victory for women. She thinks it will make it easier going forward for other women who are victims of sexual assault. She says she intends to do something good with the money. She's not going to go out and get all Trumpian and buy, I don't know what, a building. She did say, a slightly poignant little detail, that she's now going to give better dog food to her dogs, who are, I think, much loved in her life. But basically, she commits to doing something good, and she sees this as a really important victory that goes well beyond herself. So that's from her side of the table. It's true, she won't be having the money to spend soon, but I don't see a world in which, well, that's puts it a little too strongly. I think her prospects for literally having the money, to $83 million that she can, use to buy groceries and anything else, is pretty high. And more importantly, for the overall national battle of accountability that seems to be really caught up in Trump's prospects for winning the presidency, not to mention the nomination, he will take the hit. He will take the hit, and he'll take it relatively soon if he wants to appeal, which all indications are he does. So if he's not going to fold up his tent now, he's got to find his way to the money, and that could really already, especially when you combine it now with what's coming soon in the fraud case, really cramp his style in a major, major way. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.